This episode is brought to you by Americas Rehab Campus. Get on the road to recovery with the best rehab in beautiful Arizona. Dial 1-833-272-7342. That's 1-833-ARC-REHAB.
Ladies and gentlemen, you are now tuned in to the Armor.
Thank you guys so much for tuning into the Arcast. Hope you're doing well. My name is Booda.
And I'm Mikayla.
Welcome back, Miss Mikayla. It's very good to hear from you. How are you doing?
I'm doing well. Thank you. How are you?
I'm doing good. We got a gentleman right here in the studio. He's a frequent listener of the podcast. He's an alumni. I've known him for a couple years now. He's doing fantastic, and he was all giddy coming into the studio. So I want to introduce him to you and to everyone else out there, all the listeners. Give it up to our brother, Richard Baltazar. Yeah. He's got a big old smile on his face. Mikayla, you should see him.
Wonderful.
How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing good.
You doing all right?
Yeah, happy Easter.
Happy Easter.
Happy April Fools, too.
Absolutely. April Fools. For all the listeners, you're probably going to hear this sometime in June, but it was Easter when we recorded it. So happy Easter to all you guys. I hope you guys are having a beautiful one out there. But no, man, I mean, congratulations, dude. 2 years, bro.
Yeah.
I can't believe it's gone by that long.
I can't neither.
2 years.
Yeah.
And what are you doing now?
I do special event security.
Special event security?
Yes.
Where at?
All over Tucson. U of A, TCC, the rodeo grounds,
Oh, man.
Pima County Fair, South Point High School.
That's cool. And you've been doing that for a minute? How long you been doing that?
I've been a security guard for 10 and a half years.
Dang. All right. There you go.
Been up to the Super Bowl.
Oh, did you?
2014, 2015 I went
Who was there?
to help out. I believe it was the New England Patriots and the Eagles.
Oh, Mikayla, that's all you.
Yep. I am an Eagles girly.
Oh, man. Well, that's pretty cool. Yeah, I heard you telling me that you were going to be doing like the Pima County Fair and stuff. We got Michael Salgado coming up. We got Sublime with Rome. Shout out to DJ Jamar International. He's going to be there. That's my homeboy, too. They got some, who else is going to be there? Paul Wall. And
We have Ice Cube coming into Tucson to the AVA.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's cool. I want to go see Gabriel Iglesias.
Yeah, he's coming in August.
Yes, Gabriel. I've always wanted to meet him, man. He's a cool dude. You ever met him before?
No, but I've worked his events before.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. Well, dude, it's a absolute pleasure to have you in here, man. You're doing fantastic. 2 years. It's kind of hard to even fathom that much time has gone by already. Yeah. But I mean, dude, I appreciate you taking interest and wanting to come and share your testimony, dude. Yeah. So let's go back to the beginning. Richard, where are you from, buddy?
I was raised here in Tucson, in South Tucson. I grew up on 35th between 2nd and 3rd.
On 35th between 2nd and 3rd. If you don't mind me asking, how old are you, brother?
I just turned 47. I'll be 48 in July.
40. Oh, wow. Okay. I think my uncles and a lot of my uncles from my dad's side grew up around that neighborhood. So, okay. So that's where you're from, the South Side. Yeah. And what about growing up? Did you have any siblings?
I have one sister younger than me.
One sister younger than you?
Yeah.
And what about the dynamic as far as you growing up? Did you have your mother and father in the house? My mom
and dad were both around.
Okay.
My dad was an addict, in and out of prisons the whole time.
Really?
My whole childhood.
Were they married?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. So it's just your mom, your dad, you and your sister.
Yeah.
Four you guys.
Yeah.
Man. And how was, growing up as far as like your childhood? Did you have much of a childhood? How did you do in school?
Yeah.
Were you in school?
I did good in school. Passed all my classes except for driver's ed.
Okay.
Oh, no. Actually, I passed driver's ed.
Yeah?
Just didn't want to drive after high school. Been taking the buses everywhere ever since high school.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Wow. Driver's ed was not my course.
I remember taking that. That's probably the only class that I really liked because I wanted to drive. I just wanted to get out of the house, man. Driver's ed was my thing.
The only class I didn't like was PE.
Really?
Yeah. I hardly ever dressed out for PE.
Bro, everyone slacks off during PE. That was like one of my other favorite classes. I could just disappear.
But I was kind of mean, or I was kind of afraid of my PE teacher because my PE teacher was also the wrestling coach.
Oh, okay. All right. So you act out of line, they're going to tackle you down real quick.
Yeah, take me down.
Oh, man. Okay. So you did pretty good in school, though, other than that? You graduated, you got your diploma and everything?
Graduated in 94 from Flowing Wells High School.
Okay. And as far as, like you said, with your dad being an addict and everything, was he a functioning addict? Like when he wasn't in prison and stuff, did you have a pretty stable relationship with him, or was he kind of separated from the picture in and out?
He was in and out of the picture.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was was he in prison the majority of your life?
Yeah.
Do you remember? Okay. And your mom was with him the whole time, though. She stood by his side.
Yeah. They were together for over 20 years.
Wow. Yeah. 20 years. Okay. Growing up, other than your father having an addiction, was there ever any type of diagnosis that you had? Like, ADHD, depression, any other forms of addictions?
I grew up with ADHD, so I was in special ed all throughout school.
Okay. Your whole academic career, pretty much?
Yeah.
And what about when you graduated, did you, at that time, had you dabbled in substances or anything like that? Or were you pretty straight throughout your school years?
I tried marijuana when I was 18.
Travieso. 18?
Yeah. And I had my first drink when I was 18.
Oh, dang.
Yeah.
Was it the same night?
Yes.
I guess he has this mischievous smile on his face. So 18 years old. I mean, you're already an adult at this point. What made you want to try it, man? What was going on?
My cousin had asked me if I wanted to try a joint, and he had a beer with him.
Oh man, okay. And that was the first time you'd ever had a beer. It was the first time you'd ever smoked.
Yeah.
Did you fall in love with it right away?
At first, yeah.
It was still fun?
Yeah. And then after that, I tried it a couple more times and then haven't touched. Yeah.
Oh man, you never touched it after that?
No.
No. Okay. All right. So that stirs up a lot of questions then. So you graduated from high school. You tried drugs a couple times. You tried weed. You drank a little bit, right?
Yeah.
What ended up being your drug of choice? What was it that hooked you?
Alcohol.
It was alcohol.
Yeah.
So the alcohol continued throughout the years.
Yeah.
When you were an adult, were you living on your own? Were you working? Things like that?
So I was a functioning alcoholic. I was working. I was doing landscaping with the Beacon Foundation.
Okay. And this was right after high school?
Yeah.
When did the alcohol really start to take the driver's seat in your life? How old were you when that happened? Because I know you said you tried drugs for the first time. You weren't a big fan. I'm guessing you were just talking about the cannabis, right? You weren't talking about the alcohol. You must have liked the alcohol.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the alcohol really didn't start taking control of my life until, I want to say, 5-6 years ago.
5-6 years ago.
Yeah.
And you're 40, you said you just turned 40?
47, I just turned it.
Okay, so you were in your 40s already.
Yeah.
Take us back to, just that moment. I mean, you're an adult man, you're in your 40s. How did that happen? How did you become addicted to the alcohol? Was there a situation or something that you experienced that kind of took you off of the edge?
So growing up, I was abused by a cousin of mine.
Okay.
And so I kind of blocked it out, between my 7th and I want to say between my 8th and 9th grade year.
Okay.
Is when it happened.
It just resurfaced.
Yeah.
Out of nowhere. It was just like
just
resurfaced. Wow.
Yeah.
What triggered that memory for you? I'm just curious if I'm just thinking, because it's such a unique story at 40, at 40 years old, especially if you hadn't been drinking this whole time.
Well, the drinking started when I was actually 23, off and on. Okay. I would have a couple beers here and there.
Okay.
Go to the Wildcat House and have my Long Island iced teas.
They had like nickel shot night over there. The place is ridiculous.
My nights were Saturday nights for Tano 1600s.
Okay. All right.
So the trigger came 5-6 years ago during a birthday.
And at this time in your personal life as an adult, are you living on your own at this time?
No. I'm currently with my mom and have been since throughout childhood.
Okay. So you've been with your mom this whole time.
Yeah.
Do you have any children? Anything
No,
like that?
no.
No. Okay. And when this initially happened to you, Richard, who did you confide in? Did you have any type of an outlet, or did you speak to anybody about this?
No.
No. Once this trigger happened, it was just something that you fought with in silence.
Yeah.
Okay. And at what point did this world of recovery start coming into play? Like, when did you know that something like this was possible?
No. So before coming into the ARC, I tried a daytime IOP and lasted only 60 days. And then I had a relapse. So one of the biggest triggers too from the alcohol was when I lost my girlfriend in 2007.
I'm so sorry.
Man, I'm so sorry to hear that.
Yes, we were together for 6 years.
Wow.
And I was going to propose to her.
I'm so sorry to hear that. So you had this trigger and you lost your girlfriend,
Yes.
the love of your life at around, did both of these traumatic experiences both happen around the same time?
Yes.
Wow.
Wow.
And, I know you've said that you've lived with your mom since you were in the school, right? So you guys have a real close relationship and stuff. Did your mom and your dad start noticing that there was something going on with you? Like, who brought that to your attention? Were you aware of it?
No, I wasn't aware of it.
No.
My mom didn't notice that I had a problem until 3 years ago.
So 3 years ago.
Yeah. The day that she brought me in, or before she brought me in, she noticed that I had a problem.
Have you guys always had a good relationship? Was she able to kind of bring it to your attention and you just realized I got to take care of this?
I've always hidden my addiction. Never really wanted it to get help, or didn't really know how to ask for help.
This was your first bout of recovery, like you told Mikayla. So how was that experience for you, man? When you came in, was this something you were willing to do? Were you nervous? Were you fighting against it?
So I initially called myself in to check myself in, and my mom drove me down here.
Okay.
Yeah. And I walked in through the doors, and and I was like, okay, here we go.
Yeah. Were you scared?
At first.
Yeah.
The first couple weeks after getting into the residential side, I didn't talk much. So I kind of sat with the BHTs and they kind of loosened me up,
Man.
Yeah.
So I'm curious too, because you say you were living with your mom and she didn't really bring it to your attention till right before you came in. Yeah. Were you drinking like in the house and stuff, or were you pretty good about hiding like all of it completely?
I was good at hiding it completely.
Man, they couldn't really tell or anything staying at their house?
Well, my mom kind of knew because of the way I was acting, waking up late. Trying to hide it with Tic Tacs, my beer breath.
Okay. All right. I wasn't sure if maybe, I'm just always curious about how that happens, like if your mother had found like bottles or things like that, you know what I mean? Because it just seems like it went on for a long time. But I mean, that's partly what we do, right? When we're in active addiction is we get really good at being manipulative. We get very good at being able to hide things, lying. Those all come with it, right?
Yeah. Well, then the alcohol breath didn't smell or didn't help out the next mornings.
Yeah, you can't really cover that. It's coming out of your pores, huh?
Yeah. So I would deny that when she would ask,
Yeah. And when you came in, man, I mean, so you went through the whole program. You went through detox here.
Yeah.
You went through residential.
Yeah, residential.
IOP.
So after residential, I went home and then did evening IOP from home.
Evening IOP.
Yeah.
That the last time that you were here, that was, other than that IOP that you stayed at that first time, this was initially kind of like your first time, right?
Yeah.
And after this first time, you were able to find something that helped you with your sobriety. What was that? What was the moment in your life where that switch flipped?
Just hearing everybody's story from residential.
Yeah.
And then hearing Vance's story.
Oh, shout out to Vance.
Yeah.
So something I'm kind of curious on as you're sharing your story and, how you were saying your addiction, the like true intensity of your addiction kind of lasted for like 5 to 6 years.
Yeah.
Was it a everyday drinking thing, or was it more like lumped into a couple days that you were hiding it from your mom? Like, how did yours present?
It was every 2 weeks that I would drink nonstop.
Like a bender?
Yeah. And I would buy, and I would stay out late,
Okay.
I would come home at 2, 3, 4, sometimes 4 o'clock in the morning.
So did you drink on the job? Like when this is all when you were doing the security work,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So did you ever get fired from any security jobs for being under the influence? Anything?
No.
They never caught you.
No.
Dang, you just snook under the radar, travieso, bro. He's got a big old smile on his face. So, okay. So it was just more like that. Would people, I mean, I guess it's kind of irrelevant, but I'm guessing, you found ways of getting, especially when you were working. I'm sure people bought you drinks and did all that stuff too. You're around that Tejano music scene.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Okay. Let me see. You said that you came here and it was just listening to everybody's story.
Yeah.
I'm curious to know, Richard, before any of this, going all the way back, when you were raised, you and your sister, your mom, your dad, was there ever a sense of faith in your life? Did you ever have any type of sense of a higher power growing up? Was that ever a part of your life?
I believed in God growing up. We were always church people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you feel like your relationship with your higher power helped you to where you're at with your sobriety right now?
I have to say that my higher power has helped me through my sobriety.
Yeah. That's step 2 and 3, right?
Yeah.
That's great.
So you came through the program. I mean, Richard, was it easy for you once you came and you found that little bit of structure that I'm guessing, I mean, it seems to me it must have put a structure in your life that you didn't really have before, gave you a different understanding that you didn't have before.
Yeah. At first, it was an easy thing for me to do. The hardest part about being in recovery has been losing my cousin and then having all those cravings and thoughts. But I fought through them.
Okay.
As of my higher power and my support.
Wow. Okay. So, wow, that's deep, man. Feeling all this grief, all this loss, you just had to find a way to process all these thoughts.
Yeah.
So now that you've gone through, something that's very hard post recovery and stayed sober, what would be a piece of advice that you give to someone? For you said it was having faith and having a higher power that helped you through. Was there anything else? Did you keep yourself occupied? Was there something that you kind of turned to that carried you through to keep you sober?
Just working on the coping skills that I learned from rehab.
That's awesome. I always love hearing people, referencing back to what they learned at ARC.
Yeah.
God definitely works over here, man. He's been moving over here. So, and I know too that you are an avid attender of our evening IOP groups. You were here at least on Wednesdays. You would come all the time. I would see you all the time, right?
Yeah.
So, what does your recovery look like for you now, Richard? That you've had 2 years of sobriety. What are some of the things that you do on a daily basis now that keep you level and grounded?
So, what keeps me level and grounded have been working my steps.
Working the steps.
Yeah, and I've been just started writing journals just recently. Just meditating when I need to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Meditating. All right, man. All right. And is there anything, you've been an avid listener of the podcast since the beginning.
Yeah.
Is there anything that you've heard throughout the episodes and, out of all of the stuff that you've heard, is there something that, when we scheduled you to come through and to do this interview, was there something that you really wanted to get across to the listeners? Like a point that you really wanted to say, something you wanted to get off your chest?
Just pick up that phone, when life starts to hit,
Yeah.
Find a sponsor. If they haven't found a sponsor yet,
Yeah.
Hit up the meetings. That's what I do every Sunday. I go to the duck pond meeting every Sunday.
Reed Park.
No,
Right? No?
Fort Lauderdale Park.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. There's more than one duck, I guess.
Yeah.
That's cool, man. Every Sunday you do that, huh?
Yeah.
And I think something that people, just in any aspect of your life, not necessarily just recovery, but the importance and value of a routine and what that can do for your life and the habits that you create.
Just thanking God for keeping me sober and just having a support to talk to now,
Yeah.
Sammy is a huge support.
Shout out to
of mine,
Sammy.
My supervisors at work, they're a huge support to me. Without them, especially my mom, she's a huge support to me right now too.
Yeah.
Without my support, I don't know where I would be,
Absolutely. Absolutely. And shout out to Miss Sammy. She's got the most amazing smile in all of recovery, man. She can make everybody's day better just by smiling at them. Sammy, if you're listening, man, I love you. I hope you're doing good. But dude, thank you so much, brother. And one last question, as far as the relationship, I'm just curious to know, how is the relationship now with your mother and father? Is your father still around?
My parents have been divorced for a while now.
Okay.
But he visits, he has grandkids because of my sister. So he visits my niece and nephew.
All right. Is he doing okay? As far as did he get sober?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, congrats to him as well, man. Congrats, and I'm glad you're doing fantastic, man. I wish you nothing but the best of luck and success in the world. You're doing your thing. Hopefully, I'll see you at that Michael Salgado concert in April. All right, we can hang out or something. But thank you, bro, very much for coming through and sharing your testimony. I appreciate it.
Yeah, anytime.
Yes, thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, give it up to our homeboy Richard Baltazar. Gotta say it like that. I can't come in here and say Baltazar. It's Baltazar. For all the listeners, man, thank you guys so much for tuning in. We appreciate it. We hope you guys have a beautiful rest of your week. Shout out to all of you out there that are doing your thing, handling your business and staying strong in your recovery. If you guys want to come on the show, you got a friend or a loved one, someone with an amazing testimony, please, all of the show notes is going to have all the links, everything you need to get in contact with us. We can get you scheduled here ASAP. But until next time, man, much love, God bless, and we will see you on the next one. Miss Mikayla, it has been a true honor to have you back on here again.
Thank you.
All right,
Good
guys.
to be here.
Peace out. Peace out. What's going on, everybody? This is Booda from the Arcast, and I just wanted to thank you for checking out this week's episode. It means a lot, and if you could share it with a friend or a loved one, somebody you need in recovery, or maybe somebody who just needs that little bit of extra positivity in their life, we'd greatly appreciate it. If you would like to join us here on the Arcast, either in the studio live or online, hit us up. The links are down in the show notes of this episode, and on there, you can find direct links to our main website here at Americas Rehab Campus and all of our social media platforms. Follow us. We keep the posts positive and motivational, focused on recovery, health, and wellness. As you know, in this modern day and age, we need as much love as possible, y'all. And as always, if you or somebody you know is in need of substance abuse treatment, please don't hesitate to give us a call. We're open 24 hours a day, and our direct phone number is 1-833-272-7342. Once again, that phone number is 1-833-272-7342. I hope you all have a beautiful rest of your day. Much love and God bless. Peace.